Welcome to this week's episode of Mythbusters. Today we'll be talking about the Fire in the Valley incident at Bayer Crop Science Plant, which is located on 400 acres on the Kanawha River in Charleston, West Virginia. They use toxic chemicals such as MIC to produce pesticides, including methomyl and Larbin. The unit to make the pesticides was located adjacent to a 6,700-gallon storage tank of MIC. Prior to the incident, the plant was doing a major upgrade, including replacing a 25-year-old pressure vessel located in the unit.
Inside this pressure vessel, also called the residue treater, residual methomyl was decomposed. This process produced heat and had to be closely monitored to prevent a runaway reaction. During the summer of 2008, Bayer was eager to bring the unit back online after their upgrades to meet an increased demand for Larbin, even though the unit was not fully prepared. The following clip from the Chemical Safety Board will describe the accident that took place on August 28, 2008.
5 days into the startup of the unit, the residue treater was brought online. For safety reasons, the vessel needed to be pre-filled with clean solvent and heated to prevent a dangerous accumulation of reactive methomyl during startup. A safety interlock would prevent methomyl residue from being fed to the vessel if the temperature was too low. But some operators believed the heater could not reach the required temperature to open the valve. Contrary to operating procedure, and with manager's knowledge, operators used a password to bypass the safety interlock. This routine workaround increased the likelihood of a runaway reaction. On the day of the accident, they mistakenly did not pre-fill the vessel with solvent. Adding to the dangers, problems with the crystallizer raised the concentrations of methomyl in the residue significantly above the safe operating limit. During the day, the overconcentrated methomyl inside the vessel began to decompose, releasing heat. As the temperature climbed, the rate of the decomposition reaction increased rapidly. By 10 p.m., the temperature was approaching the safety limit. At 10:25, the residue treater high-pressure alarm sounded. The board operator mistakenly believed pressure was increasing because the vent pipe had become blocked, as had occurred many times in the past. He radioed 2 outside operators to check the vent pipe and set the vessel cooling system to full, but the runaway reaction could not be controlled. At 10:33 p.m., the residue treater violently ruptured. The vessel careened into the production unit. More than 2,200 gallons of flammable and toxic material sprayed in all directions. A massive fire erupted. Other debris struck a protective steel mesh surrounding the storage tank, which contained 13,700 pounds of methyl isocyanate.
As a result of this incident, a fire burned for 4 hours and resulted in 2 employee fatalities. Today we're going to be testing 3 myths. Plants always communicate well with the public and first responders. Plants always wait until they're ready to start up. And plants always operate under standard operating procedures.
Once the explosion occurred, the plant did not communicate with community leaders or first responders. Emergency responders were not allowed to help put out the fire, which allowed the fire to burn for 4 hours. No communication was initiated with the public, therefore no shelter in place was advised. Luckily in this case, only 2 workers were killed in the explosion. However, the situation could have been much worse. Because MIC was stored so close to the explosion and the plant was located close to a college and highly populated area, the situation could have been very similar to the Bhopal incident. While only 2 people were killed, this set a poor precedent for possible other incidents.
Many times, facilities are pressured by the demand for product, such as in this case. Due to the increased demand for Larbin, Bayer chose to bring the unit back online before it was ready, even though the control system had not been fully calibrated. Operators experienced many equipment malfunctions, including the solvent heater, which was not able to perform its job. As we learned from this incident, the demand for product should not outweigh the safety of the employees and the community.
The typical procedure for startup of the pressure vessel was to fill it with solvent to prevent buildup of the methomyl. However, on the day of the accident, this did not occur. No solvent was pumped into the vessel before bypassing the safety valve, adding methomyl to the tank. This valve was in place to shut off the feed of methomyl if the temperature in the vessel became too low, but the operators and management were concerned that the heater would not allow the vessel to get hot enough to be effective, so they agreed to bypass it. Therefore, when the methomyl decomposed inside the vessel and the temperature increased, a runaway reaction occurred.
As a result of this incident, the EPA and OSHA advised Kanawha County in West Virginia to set up its own program to audit facilities such as the Bayer facility. In addition, this Bayer Crop Sciences operation no longer produces or stores MIC. As you can see, many errors contributed to this incident. Hopefully, these myths have helped you understand how to prevent accidents in an operating facility. Thank you for watching Mythbusters.